I'm fascinated with the history down here in the Keys, so we're going to spend some time talking about it right now. We're going to start with Pigeon Key. In case you're not familiar with Pigeon Key, it's one of the last remaining strongholds of artifacts and architecture from the Flagler Railroad. It's operated by the Pigeon Key Foundation, and I have the executive director here with me right now. Kelly, thank you for being on the show today.
Oh, we're happy to be here. Thank you, Jenna, for having us.
Okay, could you tell our viewers, what exactly Pigeon Key is? I explained it a little bit, but get more into detail with it.
All right, well, Pigeon Key is an offshore island off an island chain already. It's a 5-acre island that originally housed all of Henry Flagler's workers who built the Key West extension of the East Coast Railroad from Homestead on down to Key West.
Okay, now what's most historically significant about this island?
What really makes Pigeon Key stand out historically is that era of the over 400 men that lived on this tiny 5-acre island to get this monumental task done of building the bridges all the way down to Key West. We still have 8 buildings that are on the National Register of Historic Places, along with the old 7-mile bridge that comes out to the island, that are available for tours and rentals and all kinds of other stuff throughout the year each year.
Okay. Now, how was it used, after construction of the railroad was completed?
Construction of the railroad took place on Pigeon Key from 1908 to 1912. Once 1912 hit on January 22nd, the railroad was completed. Flagler came into Key West on his own rail car. And after that, the island was converted to a maintenance camp for the railroad. And most of the guys who lived out there were painters who would paint all 7 miles of the 7-mile bridge, then Bay of Honda Bridge. And by the time they were done with that, with the paint they had at the time, the sun, the salt air, it's time to start back at 7 Mile in a continuous rotation of painting. Along with the bridge tender and the assistant bridge tenders' homes who worked the swing bridge out in Moser Channel. Today we have the big hump to let tall boat traffic go underneath, but it used to swing sideways to let a boat go through and then swing back the other way to complete the rail line again. So there's a lot of families living out there during the maintenance era. They even built a one-room schoolhouse because of all the children that were on the island. You can go 1st through 5th grade in the one-room schoolhouse, then you were sent up north to finish your schooling and come back and spend your summers on the island if your family stayed there.
Really?
Until 1935, of course, when the hurricane knocked out the rail line and it wasn't needed for the maintenance anymore. When they converted to the highway in 1936, Pigeon Key got a big facelift and became the nation's most beautiful rest area. And it was a toll road, $1 to get all the way to Key West. And our section gang quarters from 1908 was converted to a bar and restaurant. There was fishing charters on the far side of the island on the west side. Still a one-room schoolhouse, even put a post office in.
Really?
On the island to accommodate all the people coming down. It was $1 to get all the way to Key West.
Okay, now let's talk about the foundation's role in Pigeon Key.
Sure. About 18 years ago, when the island was kind of up for grabs after the University of Miami had released a lease on it from the county, the Pigeon Key Foundation was formed. They got the island registered on the National Register of Historic Places, along with as a federally recognized district, not just individual buildings. And that gave it a little bit of protection. And the foundation's primary goals are history, education, and research. So 4 times a day, a ferry boat comes out to the island, and we do historical tours of the buildings that remain. We have a fantastic museum all about that era on the island that's converted inside our assistant paint foreman's house. And then we do a lot of research with NOAA and Reef Relief and other organizations like that. And today, of course, we also do marine science, environmental education for school groups from around the world and local kids in our summer camps. We take kids fishing, diving, snorkeling, teach about marine habitats, conservation, all kinds of things like that. And we use the island as the educational resource.
Okay. Now, why did you decide to, get involved with this? Why did it interest you?
I used to come down to the Keys fishing all the time with my dad when I was a kid. And one day we happened upon FKCC and ended up coming back down here and studying marine science for a couple of years, going back home and finishing my degree in Detroit. And was quickly looking for a way to get back to the Keys. So this position, actually as the education director on the island, opened up. Took that a little over 5 years ago now, and quickly worked my way up, and now I'm in charge of the whole operation.
Now, are people so fascinated by Pigeon Key once they start hearing about it?
Absolutely. One of the things when I first came on, we didn't like hearing so often is even people around Marathon in the Middle Keys were, what is that place? What is Pigeon Key? What is that island under the bridge with the yellow and white houses? I think we've been doing a better job now of getting the word out, and yeah, once people get there, it's easy to get them to fall in love with it, and that's where most of our membership and benefactors come from now. Is once we get people to the island, it's an easy sell. It's an amazing, very unique spot that is like nowhere else. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say. So once you get people there, I mean, they don't want to leave.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And now you mentioned you do have some summer courses.
We do, yeah. Throughout the year, we take school groups from around the world and put them through our programs, and we fully staff it, and meals and all that kind of stuff. But then twice this year, we're offering summer camp opportunities to local and out-of-city kids as well to come down as individuals and sign up for our camps. There are day camps as well as overnight camps. You can get scuba certified through it if you like. And again, we take the kids fishing, diving, snorkeling. It's all marine science-based, environmental education. And then those 2 weeks, we also incorporate a lot of fun summer camp stuff where you know, we do pie-in-the-face relays, and we have an underwater obstacle course off the side of the island. We throw watermelons off the old bridge and have a big food fight. A lot of fun summer camp stuff.
Okay, so if people want more information on that, they can, of course, check out the website.
Absolutely, absolutely. PigeonKey.net, and then for summer camps, pigeonkeyed@gmail is the email address.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing all of this with us this morning.
We're happy to be here. Thank you.
All right, everybody, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back right after these messages.